I reckon whist has killed the art of watching television.
What are trumps again?
Oh, my giddy Aunt Connie, it's every hand.
Was that outburst absolutely necessary?
Spades, the black and shaped like a shovel.
You never could call a spade a spade.
I'd just like to win one hand at whist and then I could die happy.
There you are. Now, don't say I haven't got all my chairs at home.
Oh, you've got all your chairs at home, Connie. They're just not set out properly. Oh, getting to the nub, you've trumped our trick again.
I can't stand people who find fault with everything and everybody.
Look, is there any point in finishing this hand? I mean, we've won it.
Well, you've won all the damned hands.
I've been playing whist for 35 years.
Your sideboard must be stuffed with booby prizes.
Shall we call it a night, then?
I suppose so.
I wonder why it is that all bachelors are so bad-tempered.
All bachelors are not bad-tempered. Bachelors are noted for their placid, philosophic outlook upon life.
No man is an island.
We've reserved them for women. After the uprising, we're going to float you all out on rafts.
Well, I've cashed up, then, and I make that 31, 32, 33 matches.
I can't afford 33 matches. I'll have none for my pipe. I'll have to give you an IOU.
Oh, you know the house rule here, Mr. Tweedale. It's strictly matches on the nail.
You don't want me coming round every 10 minutes to borrow matches, do you?
You've talked me into it. I mean, you and your silver tongue.
I could have sworn I heard the front door open and shut. They don't do that untouched by human hand.
Many a true word.
It's only Biggles.
Gavin Rumsey.
You must have seen him. Healthy, wealthy and randy. He always accelerates when he sees that road sign. Please drive carefully, old people crossing.
Was he going out or coming in?
Depends which way he was facing. Coming in, but facing backwards.
He drives the same way.
Tidings, kind hearts and gentle people. Oh, Mr. Tweedale, our friendly neighbourhood neighbour. Ah, fantastic the number of people who say I look like Robert Redford. Must be my strong jawline.
Couldn't possibly be that Lotus Europa of yours, could it?
We used to wear togs like that in 1932. Reg Needham and me could a real dash on that tandem of ours.
All the kids used to call them Ben-Hur and Rudolph Needham.
What have you got in your bags, then?
Oh, just a few bits and pieces to finish off Bran's hatch.
I hope you're not raising chickens in that spare bedroom.
Pardon?
Chickens. The things that come before the eggs.
This is for my scale electric. I mean, I've got half a dozen Formula One cars, you know. Can't keep racing them at Silverstone week after week. Desperately need a Bran's hatch.
I can't imagine how you'd manage with that one, mate.
Sacrifice, mate, sacrifice. Personally, I find making sacrifices character-forming.
Well, time I went to bed. Got to get up.
I'll walk along to the bus stop with you, Connie.
Oh, thank you, Austin. Are we playing whist again next week?
Oh, I hope we can, Connie. I've really enjoyed it tonight.
Whist? You want to try stud poker sometime?
Do you remember when you and your Vera and me and Reg used to play strip poker?
And our Vera was always the one that ended up with no clothes on.
I remember when we had you down to your...
Mother?
Yes, love.
Well, you know.
No, it was a long time ago, Felicity.
I'll tell you what, Sonny. It beats stud poker. Permissive societies have shot 'em.
Well, we'll say good night then.
Good night, then.
Like a bullet there, Mr. Tweedale.
Did Connie ever tell you about the time we all went midnight swimming at Onkenhead and there Vera said,
Not now, Austin.
aye, that's right, word for word.
Good night, love.
Good night.
Good night, Mrs. Wagstaff. Mr. Tweedale. Fancy a game of strip poker, then?
Too slow. How about strip snap?
Such a great future in air freight. I'll probably open a chain of deck chairs. That female impersonator phoned me up again today.
Hey, I didn't know you knew a female impersonator.
I was married to one for 2 years.
Gavin. You know, you shouldn't talk about your wife like that.
What does she want?
Well, does she want you back? Try and make a go of it.
No, more on the lines of wanting me to flog the pad.
Oh. Oh, you mustn't sell the house. Well, I mean, if that goes, you'll have nothing to tie her together.
I thought it was a good idea, too. I think she wants some money to go abroad or something.
What, you mean to go and work abroad?
No, she'd just probably sign on as a mercenary.
Well, isn't the house in both your names?
Yeah, the deeds are, but we share the running costs, you know. I mean, I pay the mortgage, the chief rent, the rates, the water rates, the electricity, gas, telephone, and she used to buy the washing up liquid.
If Gavin sells his house, where's he going to live for the rest of my life?
If he sells that split-level spaceship of his, he'll have enough loose cash to buy a really smooth bachelor pad. He'll have it made.
You sound envious.
Well, I might sound envious, but don't mean say I'm envious, does it?
Yes.
Well, on a fantasy level, love. I mean, there are some things you want, and when you get them, they're just fantastic.
Well, how's this for a fantasy thought, then? Gavin has already got a very super bachelor pad in our spare bedroom. Plus me thrown in for making his bed, making his meals, and making out that I like having him in.
Hey, I like it.
Do you think he's going to give all that up? To go and buy a bachelor pad that'll cost him at least... well, whatever bachelor pads cost at least.
About 10 grand. 13 grand if you fussy and want a roof on.
Well...
Hell.
You know, Gavin's marriage might be on the rocks, but he's in the rowing boat. And we are rowing.
My imaginary dish, standing on the corner, watching all the girls go by. Standing on the corner, giving all the girls the eye.
Fliss?
Chris.
Kiss. There's a boy outside onto a winner. He's running a mobile jukebox.
You mean my nice Mr. Bottomley?
Carol.
Chris. Kiss.
Who's nice Mr. Bottomley, then?
Oh, we met in the Copacabana on Stockport Road.
That's what he's sitting in. I thought it was a car.
He was a sort of immediate attraction on first question. He asked me what I was drinking, and I said a rusty nail. 1 part Drambuie, 2 parts Scotch, and who cares what happens afterwards? And nice Mr. Bottomley said, don't you mean a large one? Never could resist sweet talkers.
What does he do?
He was a businessman before I met him. Right now, he's a tired businessman.
What sort of business?
Oh, you know, a bit here and a bit there.
Well, I'm sorry, Carol, but Gavin doesn't come home at lunchtime. And you have come to see Gavin.
Well, no. His boss is up from London. It'll take the nation's little sweetheart most of the day to lick his boots. I'd really call round to ask if Chris would do me a favour.
Well, I'll try.
There's no need to with what you've got going for you. This will only take part of the evening. It just means you being round at the house, if Fliss doesn't mind.
You want me to go around the house and provide grounds for divorce?
Ha, ha, ha.
It was only a bit of a joke.
Oh, what happened to the other bits?
You see, my nice Mr. Bottomley is taking me to Anglesey for the weekend to show me his hotel, and he's so worried about the exhausting 2-hour journeys, he thinks I'll have to stay there to recover.
Well, where does Chris come into all this?
Oh, he's someone seeing in the house this evening, and I wondered if Chris would just show them around, that's all.
Ah, well, you see, Chris has been working the last 4 nights, and he'll be out again tomorrow.
Oh, it won't take long, Fliss. Just show them around and tell them the asking price is £20,000. They sounded pretty keen on the phone.
Pleased to help you out, Carol. No trouble at all. And if you'll follow me through here, Mr. Truscott, Mrs. Truscott, you'll find we're back in the living room. Actually, you know, they call it a living space. It takes far too much to heat for my liking. All the warmth dissipates, you see, through these other doors.
Oh, very nice.
I should have asked you before, Mrs. Truscott. You don't have any pets, do you?
Just Benidorm and Mallorca. The Persian pussies.
Oh. Only, you see, the people on this estate, they seem to sort of resent pets. They formed a vigilante committee for rustling cats. And I wouldn't want Benidorm and Mallorca to end up as a pair of gloves.
Nice to be living in a community that can organise itself. Been a strong committee man all my life.
Oh, well, Mr. Truscott's been a strong committee man all his life.
Oh, you'll be busy round here then, Mr. Truscott. There's the committee for the scandal of the gross over-ratings of these properties on Tuesdays. There's the subsidence committee on Wednesdays. There's the anti-jumbo jet committee on Thursdays. That is if you can make yourself heard.
Oh, Stafford. Just what you've always wanted, aeroplanes flying overhead.
Subsidence committee, eh? That's the result of sweated labour down the mines. And quite rightly, we should be highly rated round here. It's our rates that help the socially deprived. Are they high enough? That's my point.
Mr. Truscott's been a very strong Labour man all his life.
Do you mind if I ask you something, Mr. Truscott?
6BK 708 961.
Pardon?
Mr. Truscott's a Lancashire man.
Well, I'm from Manchester.
No, it's, and a Lancashire man has won this month's top premium bond prize of £50,000.
Well, Mother, I don't know what you think, but I like it.
Your mayor love it.
What was the price again?
£25,000.
Done.
I agree.
It's only good old Gav.
Hi, good old Gav.
Choked about Carol asking you to help out, mate. Nothing I could do. Head office sent up the assistant yokel from London, see? Told me to really put him through it. Yeah, they got no one who knows the business like me. Make them spend a day with Gavin Rumsey, that's their attitude. Find out what life's about, eh?
Your new Scale Electric catalogue came this morning.
We all need something for relaxation. I mean, Paul Getty plays with model soldiers. Howard Hughes plays Monopoly with real hotels. There's only you, Hefner, doesn't bother.
I relax, selling houses.
Well, there's nothing wrong.
I sold your house.
They broke the mould. How much you have to drop from the asking?
I didn't.
20,000 quids.
25,000 quids. And what a selling job I had to do to get that. Well, as I was pushing Mr. and Mrs. Truscott up, pound by pound, I kept thinking to myself, this is going to be worth it. Good old Gav will see me right.
What do you mean?
Well, just the usual commission, above and beyond the asking price.
Oh, Chris, mate, if only I could. If only it was in my hands. I'd never get Martin Borman to agree.
Pardon?
Carol.
She wouldn't spit down your throat if your back teeth were on fire. Tell you what, mate. Tell you what I'll do. Whether she agrees to it or not, I'll have a farewell party at the house next week, and I'm going to invite you and Fliss.
Golly.
No, my mind's made up. I know when to make a stand on behalf of my friends.
This week's temp.
Yeah, Timperley Tracy, she's a great kid.
You know, I've never been to a house cooling party before. I've taken lots of presents round the house warming dues.
I reckon I've still got those table mats you gave us. 5 with hunting scenes on and 3 with Picasso's one-eyed birds.
Thought you'd appreciate them. Anything to get away from this matching set of everything syndrome.
Yeah, that's what I told Carol, mate.
Actually, they were wedding presents, but we lost 3 of them.
Repartee, you know, that's a thing you miss when you're married to a stormtrooper. Do you think he forgot to take his tablets this morning?
He's just doing his own thing.
What's that dwarf called again?
That is nice, Mr. Bottomley.
She's doing it on purpose, you know, bringing a dwarf to our official breaking up party. It's the sort of calculated move you'd expect. Good evening.
Yes?
Are you enjoying yourself, Mr. Tweedale?
Oh, employing yourself is enjoying yourself, Christopher. You don't have a selection from Ireland, do you? The entrance of the fair is when you're lying awake with a dismal headache, something like that. Gilbert and Sullivan, the immortal Savoyard.
No sooner get it back, Mr. Tweedale, someone borrows it again.
And you've got nothing from the yeoman.
Yep. Only asked me last week. I've just got rid of my copy on the black market, you see.
Not to fret, my lad. I just thought it'd be a welcome change from all this Russian music.
He's only brought him here to get at me, Mr. 45 and 5'5".
Yeah, that's just the size of his wallet.
Listen, mate, I might not have everything, but I've settled for what I've got. Charm, good looks, personality, talent, and more than the average sex appeal. She's only brought Humpty Dumpty to tell everyone she prefers him to me.
Well, that could be, mate.
That guy hasn't got what I've got. Charm, good looks, personality, talent, and more than the average sex appeal.
As long as you know it, mate, that's all that counts.
Well, it's obvious, though, isn't it?
You did say a double scotch, didn't you?
Now,
Did he manage to get through to anybody, Mr. Tweedale?
Egg packing cases.
Oh. Did they have much to say?
This wall is nothing but egg packing cases covered up with plaster. Our houses will see this one crumble to the ground. It makes you wonder whatever happened to Accrington Brick.
Hey, weren't they bottom of the fourth and didn't bother to apply for
Brick, not Stanley. By Buxton. I thought mine were bad enough.
I'm just trying to make the wake go along with the swing.
Yeah, what's his repertoire?
Oh, he specialises in being a tired businessman. You know, he was only 23 when he met Carol last week.
I mean, a black bottom's better than this, you know.
Pardon?
There's nothing like a black bottom for geeing things up.
I'm sorry. I'm out of my depth here.
Have you never seen Connie Wagstaff's black bottom?
Well, not gratuitously, no. But there again, I have never asked.
I've seen them at the Villa Marina in Douglas stand around the dance floor aghast with admiration.
Oh, it's a dance.
Of course it's a dance. You're a bit behind the times, aren't you, Christopher? Black bottom, you with them. Black bottom, I dance with them.
Excuse me. One large double for my one true mate. Cheers. Managed to raise anyone, Mr. Tweedale?
We've been through all that, and it wasn't very jocular the first time.
Do you play?
Pardon?
I just wondered if you played.
Played what?
The guitar.
Oh, there's, I was forgotten I was carrying it.
They're quite easy to overlook, aren't they, when they're hanging round your neck?
Yeah, well, that's why I thought, leave it by the door, see, in case I forget it.
Right.
Yeah. A bit.
Pardon?
Play the guitar a bit. Not exactly Segovia.
Do you know when I'm cleaning windows? well, what about Mr. Wu? What can I do? I've got those Chinese laundry blues.
I think that's more what some people would probably call a ukulele, Mr. Tweedale.
Well, they both got strings in the same place. What's the difference?
The difference, Mr. Tweedale, is that Segovia's yet to render a symphonic version of With Me Little Stick of Blackpool Rock.
Have you still got that?
Yes. I came to an arrangement with the dustbin men. Every time you chucked it out, they brought it back.
I never chucked your guitar out.
What about my unpacked bridge at Oulton Park? You chucked that out?
Only because I'd stood on it. Anyway, it was as bent as a butcher's hook.
Exactly. See, before witnesses that, Chris. All evidence of irretrievable breakdown of marriage.
Look, I thought you were going to give us a tune on your guitar, mate.
Gone right off it.
You don't play by any chance, do you, Carol?
No. Well, I used to sing and Gavin used to play. Do you know, we used to go down quite well at parties once upon a time.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. After the torrid passion of the Paso Doble, performed for us tonight by the Llanfair Feckin formation team, we now come to the star attraction of the evening. Drum roll, maestro, please. The guitar virtuoso of El Gavino Rumsey, of whom Andre Previn once said, "Who?" And he will be accompanied tonight for your further delight for the last time by the delightful Carol. A big hand, please, for the artists.
You're the lady that I love.
I'm the lady who...
You're the fella that rocks. I'm your Rockefeller, I'm your Cinderella. Ooh. I love that face.
It's in the right place.
I love your mind.
Oh, that's very kind. I love your jazz.
I love the jazz. Away,
Mr. Wu, what can I do? I've got those Chinese laundry blues.
You've asked me that once before.
What was the answer?
No.
Well, it's all practice, you know. You've got to keep at it.
Reg Needham used to play when I'm leaning on a lamppost.
Yeah, well, I can play when you're leaning on a lamppost. No difference when you're sitting down.
It was George Formby that used to sing when I'm leaning... No, I tell a lie. It was his dad's song. He were called George Formby and all.
It's information like that that really makes a party.
He had a very bad cough, you know. Always used to say, I'm coughing better today. He had consumption, you know.
Good Dad had him rolling in the aisles, Mr. Tweeddale.
Buying books, is that the time?
10:05?
He had no comprehension it was that time. Now, I've got a coat somewhere.
Is this it, Mr. Tweedale?
Oh, I thank you, Fliss. The mob overcoat, you know. I had it made into a fashionable three-quarter length car coat.
How'd you find these three-quarter length cars, Mr. Tweedale? I mean, apart from having only three-quarters of the wheels.
I might not have a crocus, but I get 84 miles to the gallon, man and boy.
It's a lotus, not a crocus.
You don't have to go, do you, Mr. Tweedale?
Oh, the stars at night on Tuesday.
It's inflation, you know. I remember a time when there were stars every night.
It's a television program. We're doing pulsars tonight.
Oh, you mean you and Patrick, my eyebrows are coughing better more?
Yeah. And if things go well and there's time, we'll have another discussion on the black holes in space.
I spy a black hole in space.
And I spy with my little telescope another black hole in space.
What's up with them?
We were just having a discussion about black holes in space.
I expect you'll want to lift, Connie.
Oh,
Good
yes,
night,
thank
everybody.
you, Austin.
Good night, Mrs.
Come along,
Tweedale.
Connie.
Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you very much,
Take your
sweetheart.
time now.
You're not going, are you, mate?
Well, it's all disintegrating slightly, isn't it?
It's been a really super thingy.
Yes, it really has, Gav. Carol. The best selling up house, breaking up marriage do I've ever been to. Well, let's hope it carries on for you.
Thanks, Chris.
Yes, well, we'll look forward to the next. Good night.
Thanks for coming.
Well, your nice Mr. Bottomley didn't exactly leave with a smile and a song.
Just your Tracy.
Bird brain, first chick I've met whose IQ doesn't make double figures.
She'll be okay with nice Mr. Bottomley, then. He's another dumb slob.
No finesse.
No starters.
It's a bit sad breaking up the old homestead, really, isn't it?
No.
You know, when you think about it, we've had some really great times in here, haven't we?
Well, I suppose when you put it like that. No?
Yeah. Do you remember when I had my Scalextric in here and the Formula 1 Ferrari went belting up your leg, eh? Oiled your tights.
Yes, that was the day I left you.
Yeah. Got some great memories. Managed to realign the axle on the Ferrari, incidentally.
Oh, super. You know, I've really been worried about your axle.
You know, Carol, sometimes I find myself wondering, where did we go wrong?
We got married.
Well, that's made me miserable.
What's that?
Gavin and Carol's marriage splitting up.
Oh, I don't know.
mean, it is sad, isn't it?
I don't know. It's an ill wind that blows no good.
What sort of good?
I asked for our wedding present back. Hunting scenes are trumps.